Yuri bolts out of the room quickly, or nearly knocking me over in the process. I'm left dazed with my head spinning. Crap, I didn't mean to upset her. I get up from my seat and am about to go after her when I feel a gentle hand on my arm tugging me. Monica shakes her head gently.
Let her be. The last thing you should do right now is try to corner her, or she'll feel even more anxious.
But...
Hallie, I know given my history I'm the last person to trust, but still, I'm asking you to trust me on this. She's been doing what she's doing for some time now. I know you want to help her, but if we try and confront her too soon, too quickly, she'll retreat further into herself. She uses that as a form of self-control and a coping mechanism for her anxiety. We'd only be making it worse right now by pushing her.
I guess you're right. Thanks, Monica. I take it then you know what happened.
I don't know exactly, but I'm guessing you asked her about her issue because of her poem.
I just nod slowly and look down. Probably a dumb move, huh?
I don't think so. Yuri's poetry, like many, is her way of expressing herself in a way she normally couldn't. She chose to share this poem for a reason. If she's to get the help we need or know she needs, then asking her directly after reading this poem would make her more receptive to the idea, not less.
I suppose so. I just hope she doesn't avoid me after this. I know that sometimes I can agonize over something trivial, especially at night while I'm in bed. I just hope this doesn't eat at her.
She might overanalyze the situation at first, but like most things, she'll see in time it wasn't actually anything worth getting worked up over. Just be patient.
Gotcha. Thanks again, Monica. I really appreciate your insight into this.
Not at all. I'm happy to help in any way I can. It's the very least I can do to try and atone.
You're doing great, Monica. Monica smiles meekly at me before walking back to her desk. Since I spelled meekly, I guess I should do the same and just hope that Yuri returns soon. None the worse for wear. I'm still bothered by what she might be doing at this very moment, but Monica is right. Confronting her right now might make things worse. I should give her some space. Okay, if you're gonna use a semicolon, the next letter should not be capitalized. Well, actually, these could be two separate sentences. But there were a couple of times I noticed, like a sentence trailing off of something that could have been separated by a comma or a semicolon. So maybe watch out for those. Anyway, it's not long before I see Yuri return to the classroom and back to her seat. I can't tell just by looking at her arms whether or not she had done anything, but she avoided eye contact with everyone once she entered and made a beeline straight to her chair. Alright, who's next? Yuri.
I love reading your poems. It's like I never know what I'm going to get.
Now I'm craving chocolates.
Huh?
Never mind. Anyway, you're being too kind, Sayori. It's okay to be critical. After all, that's what we're here for, right?
I suppose so.
So tell me what you really think.
Well, I kinda think it...
Sucks?
Yeah. Sorry, Hallie.
That's perfectly fine.
Oh, I think Monica will love it.
Well, why do you say that?
Because it's a lot more Monica-ish in style.
Monica-ish?
Yeah, you know, it's written all sophisticated and the words kind of dance around the page. Definitely reads the way she writes her poems.
I think you're missing the point of it, though. At any rate, I'm just experimenting with my style for now. Who knows what I'll write tomorrow. Also, well, statement on the question. And also, the poem we wrote today was, like, not really dancing around the page the way she's described.
That's right, that's what I was talking about. It'll be a surprise.
Siri hands me back my poem.
Here, Hallie, you can read mine now.
Yeah, it's bottles. Talking about her depression. Oh no. Echo. I can't say I'm surprised that it's still the same, but a part of me admittedly hoped something might have changed. Sayori, this is beautiful.
It is.
Absolutely. I really like the use of symbolism in this one.
Thanks, Hallie.
Sayori, you know, if you ever feel like people are taking too much, you can just tell them, no, you know. It's okay to be a little selfish sometimes and think of your own health before that of others. Sayori stays silent as she tries to contemplate how to respond.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, but...
Her head sinks and she goes silent again. Sayori, remember, you're important too. Sayori smiles gently and nods half-heartedly. I'm not sure if she fully agrees with me or not, but hopefully I can prove to her that it's true. I tap her gently on the shoulder so she looks up at me. I begin to make a pantomime gesture of lifting my scalp, plucking out a ball of sunshine and putting it into a fake jar, screwing on a lid, and then handing it to her. Wow, what a corny move. Looking confused, she plays along and takes the jar from my hands.
What's this?
Here, I figure it's only fair if you've been giving people your happy thoughts that someone should give you one in return. This is my memory of us when we first met.
Oh, you don't want to hold on to that memory?
No, I mean, yes. What I mean, Sayori, is that I want you to have some of the sunshine that happy thought brings me. You can save it for a rainy day, and whenever you feel sad or lonely, you can pull it out and feel its warmth. It is warmth. Besides, your smile is all I need, so you don't have to keep giving too much of yourself.
Allie, I don't know what to say.
Sayori's eyes start welling up.
It's so sweet. Do I really deserve it, though?
More than you know, Sayori. I wrap my arms around her gently and hold her, not caring if the others around us see or what they might think. We stay like that for a few moments, though I can hear her sniffling. Anyway, I try to pull away, but Sayori clings tighter.
Just one more minute.
Sure, Sayori. We continue to hold the embrace for a little while longer before finally pulling ourselves apart. Alright, who's next?
What's your game here?
Huh?
Are you, trying to impress Monica or something?
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, whatever. It's just that you've written weird abstract poems twice in a row now. The kind that she likes and the style she sort of writes in.
So, maybe that style just suits me better. It doesn't mean that I'm playing at anything.
If you say so.
Natsuki hands me back my poem.
Just forget I said anything, okay? I need some fresh air.
Natsuki promptly turns and walks quickly out of the clubroom. I have no earthly idea what that was all about. I mean, I have some idea, but I think there's still a piece missing here that I'm not seeing. Wow, she didn't even show us her poem. Jeez, Natsuki.
Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right?
All set here.
Good. If everyone could join me at the front, I have something I want to discuss. Is this about the festival? Kind of. I thought I heard you and Sayori talking about this earlier, but do we really have to do something for the festival? I don't really feel like embarrassing myself in front of a bunch of strangers. That's a concern of mine as well. Also, I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We don't need much more than a few decorations. Or we won't need much more, yeah. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all. But that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event.
Monica and I share worried glances since we know how these two will react.
Sorry, I guess I kind of glossed over that. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica.
Yup, about the reaction we expected.
Yeah, we're going to be reciting our poems. Each of us are going to choose a poem to perform during the event. And maybe we could also let anyone else come up and recite poems as well. Sayori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time.
Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see.
Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? No, not yet. I wanted to run it past all of you first.
Natsuki and Yuri sigh in relief simultaneously.
Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no, it's not a bad idea. I'm glad you at least decided to talk to us about it first, though. If you had already started doing it without asking, I'd have been pissed. Still, I'd really prefer not to perform in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I don't think I could ever, in my life, do something like that.
Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. I knew this idea would go over like a lead balloon, but since I'm here, I might as well try to help Monica out. Guys, listen, I know I might be in the minority here, and I'm the new person as well. Ugh, pardon me. And yes, the thought of performing my poetry in front of others makes me incredibly anxious too. And judging by the look on Monica's face, maybe I'm not actually helping things. Clearing my throat, I decided to quickly finish the thought. But if you think about it, it honestly does make sense for our club festival activity. Unless anyone else here has any better ideas. Silence. And look, the festival is still several days away. That gives us plenty of time to practice reading our poems out loud in front of everyone instead of just one-on-one like we have been doing. I can tell that Natsuki and Yuri are still pretty apprehensive about the idea, but they don't really have a counter-argument or idea either.
That's right. Thanks, Allie.
She turns to address Natsuki and Yuri.
I understand where you're both coming from. Neither of you have ever shared your poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask of you, of all people. No, It's a lot to ask of you, of all of you, to recite your poems out loud to a whole room full of people. That's why I wanted to wait and ask. If you really don't want to do this, then we don't have to. But I still think we should try and give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about.
Well said, I agree.
Yeah! It's about expressing their feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it.
Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. Look, Monika's right. We don't have to do this if you guys really don't want to. Nobody will force you and nobody will judge you for it. But personally, I kind of want to help make this club the best one it could be. It was pretty aimless before I came to this club. I didn't exactly have a lot going for me. I was pretty aimless. But in the short time I've been in this club, I don't know, I feel like I really want to actually try for once. I know I can't be the only one. Natsuki rolls her eyes and snorts. Ignoring her, I continue. And Monika and Sayori have put a lot of work into this. I'm really scared too, believe me, but I can do it for them. So what do you say? If not for me, can you do it for them?
Well, definitely not for you.
Ouch, but okay. It looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left.
Oh, okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri?
Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces.
Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice.
Like I said, nobody will force you, Yuri, but I promise we can make sure to practice as a group as much as it takes to help you get comfortable. Besides, if you start to feel yourself getting nervous while you're reciting, just picture everyone in their underwear. No sooner did the words fly out of my mouth, I immediately felt a rush of blood go to my face. Once again, I spoke without thinking first.
Underwear? Ugh, pervert. Oh, I better remember to wear underwear that day.
Wait, you mean there are days when you don't? Never mind, don't answer that.
Jeez, you really are gross.
What? But can we please get back on track here? Monika giggles.
So, is everyone on board with this?
Sayori enthusiastically nods while Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly make a sound of agreement under their breath. Well, you know I am.
That's everyone! You're the best, guys! I guess I could take a stab at it. Oh, Yuri. It'll be fine, I promise. We'll help each other through this. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. Sayori, that's the green light to go ahead and start putting up the posters around the school. Next, I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. As Ellie mentioned, we're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now, let's see.
Monika goes back to the desk and rifles through a few pages before finally pulling one out from the selection. Monika returns to the front and begins reciting with about as much poise and confidence as you'd expect from someone who is used to public speaking.
This poem is titled Supernova.
She proceeds to read through her poem, wherein, as the title suggests, is seemingly about the life cycle of stars. Life cycle is 2 words. She describes how it takes a great amount of pressure to form a star, how it provides light and warmth to the planets around it. But ultimately, the star begins to burn out, its fuel reserves depleted, it collapses in on itself and ultimately explodes in a spectacular blaze. And although the star that once burned bright is snuffed out, its effects will reach far and wide and potentially help create new stars. As she finishes up, there is some light applause from the group. I'm not sure if the others picked up the true meaning or not, as I see a couple of bewildered looks from the audience.
Thanks, everyone. So what did you think? Wow, that was really good. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for sharing that part of yourself, Monika. Am I the only one who didn't get it? Was this supposed to be a science lesson or something?
Monika just smiles at Natsuki while Yuri slightly shakes her head.
What about you, Hallie? What did you think? Please be brutally honest.
Oh, it was really good. I enjoyed it and thought the use of the metaphor was creative.
Thanks, Hallie. See, everyone, it's not so difficult. Sayori, I believe you're next.
Before Monica can even get seated, Sayori bounds to the front with her poem. Her poem in hand.
This poem is called Desert Island.
During her reading, Sayori was her naturally bouncy and enthusiastic self, despite the theme of her poem being fairly bleak. It was about the feeling of isolation, but set in a beautiful, picturesque, tropical locale. The lone inhabitant finding peace and solitude, but yearning for the world beyond their shores. Many visitors came to the island to take in its splendor, using what little the island had to offer, before departing again and leaving the lonely islander behind. It ends with the islander writing a message in a bottle and casting it out to sea in hopes that someone might find it and rescue them. As she finishes, she sighs a breath of relief.
So, what did you all think? Well done, Sayori. I think you captured the feeling of loneliness pretty well. Yes, your usage of simile and imagery was quite impactful and something I can relate to at times as well.
Well, I don't know about what Yuri said, but I did like the part about the beach. I think I could write something about that.
I'm guessing Natsuki didn't really get the takeaway from the poem, but this hardly seems to faze Sayori at all. Sayori giggles.
Thanks, Natsuki.
Sayori looks toward me with eager eyes. Well, of course I liked it, making the island seem like a paradise, but explaining that while it may seem like that to someone from the outside, to the actual lone person living there it's a prison. Monica nods in agreement. It was at this point I realized just how much she and Sayori have in common. I'm continuously surprised by just how well you write, Sayori. Sayori grins while Natsuki groans.
Thanks, Ellie. Hey, wait a minute. Why are you being continuously surprised?
The rest of the group chuckles as Sayori returns to her seat, but not before she sticks her tongue out at me. Well, I guess I'll go next. I make my way up to the front of the classroom. Admittedly, I'm a tad nervous, but I try not to let it show. I only really have 2 poems so far that I've made. However, an idea occurred to me while the others were reciting theirs. Hey, Monica, we can choose a poem to recite that isn't necessarily our own, right? Monica nods.
Correct. Did you have one in mind?
I do, yeah. I pull out my phone and start looking up The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Although it's a tad cliche, it's the first one that popped into my mind that I know fairly well and felt kind of relevant to my current situation. I managed to get through it with only a couple of stutters here and there, but I think it went fairly well. While reading it, I couldn't help but occasionally glance up at Monica. I could tell by the way she was concentrating that she understood now why I chose this one.
That was great, Hallie. Robert Frost is a great choice, and one of my favorite authors. Yeah, I don't know who this Frost guy is, but he sounds cool.
Everyone groans, but Sayori seems to be genuinely oblivious to the pun.
What? What did I say? That was an excellent choice, Hallie. I'm curious, though, what inspired you to choose this poem in particular?
For a moment, I look towards Monica in a moment of how do I put this? As if sensing my struggles to come up with a plausible alternative, Monica replies,
Oh, but this happened to be about your choice to join the literature club.
I knew she'd come up with something on the fly. Yeah, you got it. You know, this might be more impactful if, like, they provided the poem for people who are unfamiliar with it.
Yes, that makes sense. Well, I'm certainly glad you chose the path less traveled with us, Hallie.
Me too, Yuri.
Well, I guess it was alright. I think I've heard that from somewhere before, but it's not terrible.
High praise indeed. Thanks, Natsuki, I'll take it. Natsuki shrugs as I return back to my seat.